What is going on, everybody? We back with another one. Be sure to subscribe for regular Dallas Cowboys content like nobody else is bringing you. Let's get right into this one. As Brian Schottenheimer is talking about the Philly game this Thursday. That's right. No Micah questions. Man, shut your up. I hope, at least, I ain't listened to this yet. I hope that they didn't just make me lie to y'all at the beginning of this joint. Let's go ahead and take a listen. This is on 1.25 times speed. We'll get through it a little bit quicker.
Someone's hair tie. Oh. Not mine, no.
Somebody's hair tie was up there. It's crazy.
Could be White Cotton, Jim Coes. Yeah, could be a couple of those guys.
Go Calvin. Calvin Watkins, Dallas Morning News. We saw that Diggs and Guyton were on injury for full participants. What's your confidence level that you'll have on Thursday night?
Yeah, I think trending in the right way. We've got our meeting with the training staff after practice today, but both guys are, like I said, working their butts off to try to get back and be ready to go, and we'll see how they do today. Today's kind of, as you guys know, a different schedule than what we've had here the last couple of years, where we'll still be running around doing things, and then tomorrow goes to more of a walkthrough. So Friday's kind of your day to figure out, hey, what are we thinking?
I mean, Friday, bruh, when the game is going to be been played by Friday, Shotty. They're getting the days mixed up, but very good news to hear that Guyton and Diggs both were full participants in practice. Look, regardless of how I feel about Diggs, something that y'all going to learn about me over on this channel, even if I have my opinions, if I have my takes, at the end of the day, I'm always going to want what's best for the Cowboys. And obviously, as long as Trevon Diggs is a Dallas Cowboy, I want him to play well. I want him to make me look extremely bad for wanting him off the team. That's how I fan. I don't fan with my pride or my ego. I can have my opinion, but still want the player to prove me wrong. That's just how I roll, y'all.
Say about those two guys that when they got hurt, we thought they would be further along before they come back, and now they might be here for the opener.
It raves about them and their competitive spirit and just the work that it takes. These things don't happen overnight. Trayvon's a guy that, really, truly, when he came back and started working closely with Britt and the trainers, just took huge leaps and strides, and so proud of him for the way he's attacked this injury and how bad he wants to get out there and play.
I want y'all to notice how Brian Schottenheimer continuously, every time he has talked about Diggs, he has not complimented his work away from the team. He has only complimented his work specifically with Britt Brown, our head trainer for the Dallas Cowboys. I want y'all to listen to every single Shotty interview, and y'all will notice that. I've noticed that throughout every interview he's talked about Diggs. He only compliments him in the context of working with the Cowboys training staff.
You have to make the decision of, is he ready to go? He is certainly pushing to do that. Okay. And then, when the thing happened with Guyton, we weren't sure. We thought it could be much, much worse. But we also thought this thing could drag on first couple weeks. But these guys have not missed a beat, man. They're here all the time. Playing the days off. They're in here getting treated.
TG. And those of y'all, I'm going to say this every time we do a reaction, because I have way too many new people watching the channel, which I'm thankful for. But, bruh, I have to pause the video. Otherwise, this is just like me ripping a copy of the Cowboys interview and posting it on my channel. I have to make it transformative. I have to give my input. So shut up. Some of y'all be, oh, you talk too much. Shut your bitch ass up, man. Damn.
And they've all had the vision of getting back. Why? For their brothers. Not to play the Eagles, but to get back here for their brothers and to be part of the team.
Love that.
How hard has it been to try to manage snap counts and practice, because you're not sure if you're going to have them and you got to obviously prepare for a game?
Yeah, we do. We do that no matter what, whether guys are healthy.
Let's see how long we can go without a Michael question.
Healthy or not, you always have to find ways to get guys reps and different things like that. But it's a good problem to have, not a bad problem to have.
Brad Toddarts with ESPN. You wanted to be a head coach for a long time. You're closing in here on a couple of days beforehand. Have you thought much about what you're going to say either the night before to the team in the hotel or right before the team goes out onto the field?
No, not really. I think here's the way I view this, and it's funny, I actually caught myself doing this the other day. Our bonus Monday, I kind of called the team up, and I kind of got a little fiery and excited about playing the Eagles and prime time and all that stuff. And I went to bed that night. I was like, what are you doing? You know better than that. Because honestly, the way we approach things, Todd, is every game we play is just another championship opportunity. It's just another championship opportunity. We get a chance to go out there against the Eagles. You don't get extra credit for beating the
self-reflection, not necessarily self-doubt or anything, but self-reflection. I like that. He was like, I was kind of getting out of character with that. I like that, bro. I like that.
Eagles in Philly on primetime than you do for beating the Giants at noon in AT&T Stadium. So
Right.
what I don't want these guys to do, and I think the coaches are a big part of this, is go in there and try so hard. Oh, we're playing the Eagles. I'm going to do so hard. They're going to make mistakes if they do that. Play for
I like
Fly
Sonny's
around. Love
energy
being
right
around
now.
with your brothers, man. Just run to the football, celebrate, have fun. And so, again, it's going to
It's so hard to hear the interview because you're talking over it. Shut your bitch asses up, man.
be pretty consistent throughout the course of the deal. We're guaranteed 17 of these. This is the first one of that. I think our guys will play well. But again, that's kind of going to be my message most weeks.
Dak used the term super excited, I think 15 or 16 times in time we talked to this. What's your level of excitement to see what Pickens and Lamb can do for real out there in a real game?
I'm excited. I mean, I'm excited. I'm excited to watch those guys every day in practice. You know, it's fun to watch those guys. But what I love, Todd, is I love the way they feed off one another. And they celebrate one another. You know, as we all know, there's one ball. You know, and the ball can't go to multiple spots on a play. And we've got a lot of really good weapons. You know, Terp's having a great, lead up to the season. We're going to run the football. We know that. And so I'm just excited for how much fun those guys have.
There's that promise of running the football again, guys. For those of you that's waiting to see how much we're going to run the ball, there's that promise of running the ball. I just hope we run it effectively. I hope we don't force it just so he can say, yeah, we ran the football.
Have playing the game as Cowboys.
John Machota with The Athletic. Now being around George Pickens for a while, what would you say gives you the most confidence that he'll be able to hit the ground running week one, despite not playing in the preseason?
Yeah, just the consistency that we see every day in practice, the work that he's gotten with Dak.
Quiet is kept because of all the drama going on throughout training camp. Man, George Pickens had an excellent training camp, and had we not had that drama going on, I think there will be a lot more excitement and hype around George Pickens and his debut with this offense because he had a really, really good training camp with the Cowboys.
It's one of those situations where, like, these guys with now having a true game plan. You know, we didn't have game plans going into the preseason, so now having real game plans, they're throwing specific routes that they're going to be throwing in the game. So you can get a lot of very specific, I say, revert to as me to you factor throws, where I'm throwing this ball to you, and okay, let's work out the kinks here. They've been working really, really hard on that.
Love that.
But the one thing I know about George is he's looking forward to the moment because he loves playing the game of football, and I think again he'll step up and play well, but also with a lot of passion come Thursday night.
With you knowing Dak, when you guys made that move, did you think that the rapport between him and George was click the way it has?
Yeah, but again, I don't think it was just Dak. I think a big part of it's GP and how GP came in here. And GP's been humble, and GP's been all about, hey, whatever's best for the team. And then CD leaning into GP. Right. So this was never a question about Dak's ability to interact. I'm not that guy that wants one guy to connect with somebody else or anything like that. This is more about just GP's willingness to come in here and open himself up and be vulnerable with our guys in the locker room. And
I like that.
I'm all about guys being authentic to who they are. And so, but like I said, from day one, it's been awesome.
Nick Harris, Full Start Telegram. You've been building this offense the whole offseason, working with Dak and training camp. How excited are you to finally just put it on the field on Thursday night?
So excited just again to see how these guys take the stuff that we've been practicing and get it out there. Obviously going against a great defense. Ton of respect for Vic Fangio.
Hey, real talk. Why haven't y'all asked any questions about Kenneth Murray Jr.? We haven't seen Kenneth Murray Jr. all offseason. Can somebody ask him, who are you most excited to see get out there that we haven't maybe seen as Cowboys fans or whatever? Like, can we get more questions about the guys that we have not seen much of yet? Like, what are we doing?
And what he has done in his crazy career, and their defense is very, very talented. They're very simple. Their ability to communicate non-verbally is quite astonishing, to be honest with you. They're tied and aligned on the same page with things, and it'll be a tremendous challenge for us. But our guys will be up to it, and I think we'll play well.
And then it'd be your first time building an opening script in a couple of years. Have you already done that, or are you going to do that the day of the game?
No, I'll start that kind of this afternoon and leading into tomorrow, and we'll get a chance to kind of walk through it a little bit, before we go play. But it's a little bit like riding a bike. You kind of know what you want. Yeah. Doesn't mean it always works, Nick. It doesn't always work. Sometimes you got to adjust. That's what opening game football is about, man. Making adjustments. So we'll see.
Joe Hoyt, Dallas Morning News. You mentioned that nonverbal, stuff that Vic Fangio does. I guess from an offense perspective, even in scouting, how do you try to pick up on stuff? When do you recognize, hey, that's nonverbal, and what can that do for you guys in terms of providing challenges during the game?
Well, they make everything look the same. They do a really good job. It all looks the same. It all comes out of the quarters-based deal. Somebody did send me, I died laughing. Vic talking to Devontae Smith before practice, one of the practices, and talk about cover two. Well, Vic's not a cover two guy, so there you go. Are they going to play a lot of cover two? Vic, shoot me a text if you're going to play a lot of cover two. I'd love to know. But again, they're well coached, man, and they play hard. But there was a situation where I think Washington was running a formation, and they had looked like an automatic formation blitz called, and Washington changed strength, and they didn't check up, and they ended up bringing a pressure to the other side, which they need to do. And you just, as a football coach and a football savant that I was once referred to, you're like, that's really cool shit. So they're really good.
Javonte Williams, Dak Prescott said his nickname for him is valedictorian Tay because of how well he prepares, and he was a valedictorian previously in his life. How have you seen kind of that ability from Javonte in meetings and stuff, and what he is able to do and translate that to practice?
Well, Javonte was a little salty today. North Carolina, they had a rough start last night. And then he lost to Turp. We gave him another shot. So they both were 25 in college. So Turp beat Javonte. So TCU's up 2-0 on UNC. But it's funny. I'll tell you a quick story about Javonte. We were doing a move the ball period, I think a week or so ago, maybe one of the Frisco practices. And I kind of pulled a play that we hadn't run in a while. And I was kind of standing back behind the huddle. And I was like, hey, Javonte, you have this. And he looked back. He's like, Shotty, I got you. I got it. But, he gives you confidence. I think he gives that confidence. And I think that's what you love about the guys, man. His
that's the type of stuff we
need.
That's the type of stuff we need to hear more of, man. I like that. And Shotty, I can listen to Shotty. I say this all the time, but I really feel like you learn football when you listen to Shotty talk. I love it.
Patrick.
Hey, Coach. Patrick Walker, DallasCowboys.com. Circling back to the offense, you were rightfully hell-bent on keeping things vanilla as possible in the preseason.
7-hour?
Yeah, 7-hour. Yeah. Just talk about how excited you are and knowing that you still, and the importance of having that element of surprise going into week one.
Well, it's the only chance we ever get to do it. Next year there's going to be hopefully 20-plus games for people to look at of us. I
love that, 20-plus
Again,
games.
it's just when you put a new staff together, Patrick, it doesn't matter whether it's offense, defense, special teams. Why would you want to already give a very, very talented defense and an incredible coach in Vic and his staff? And why would you want to give them those opportunities to kind of prepare for things? Do they know we're going to run the football? Yep. Do they know we're going to try to throw the ball to George and CD? Yep. Is Turp going to be involved? Yep. But they don't have to see exactly how we're going to build those things.
Tommy Arsh, Cowboys.com. You've talked so much about wanting to be
talking
physical.
about Turp a lot, y'all.
Early barometer is this going to be in with their offensive and defensive line for just how physical you guys are on the last scrimmage?
Tommy, great challenge, man. I mean, these guys, that's what they do. I think if you would talk to Nick and Nick was standing here, I guarantee you one of the things that they would talk about is they want to, own the line of scrimmage, and that's what we want to do. So you got two teams that are kind of built on that, and now you got to get out there and put the ball down and see how the trenches play out. But again, I'm excited to watch our guys go compete, and again, very formidable challenge. Jalen Carter, man, incredible football player. And their offensive line speaks for themselves. I mean, what they've done and what they've been able to do. Jeff Stoutland and I actually coached together in 1998 at Syracuse University.
Holy
Jeff was
cow.
a tight end coach, and he's one of the top 2 or 3 offensive line coaches in our league, man. He's just different, and be great to give him a hug before the game.
And then Tyler Booker, how do you gauge his readiness ahead of an assignment like Carter and Davis?
You guys know Book, man. He's excited about the opportunity to go play football. He's played against great players. I don't know if he and Jalen ever matched up. They probably didn't. They probably missed each other with both guys, leaving early. But again, Jalen's going to win some battles. Book's going to win some battles, and that's football, man. And if you can't get excited about that going into a matchup in a game, hey, man, I get to block Jalen Carter. How cool is that? And Book is ready for the challenge, but it'll be a fun one to watch.
Garrett Odell, CBS Sports. Brian, you helped Javonte Williams out of the preseason. How do you feel like he's physically equipped to handle lead running back responsibilities?
Yeah, I have no questions about it, Garrett. He's played plenty of football. We practice very physically when we have pads on. We actually, on Wednesday, we had we were running inside run, and safety came running down. Actually, Elijah Clark came running down, and Elijah had gotten him a couple plays earlier. Tay got a little high, and Elijah got him, and Tay got a little lower. And Elijah felt it. And so I don't worry about Javonte. He plays the game one way. He's
I like that, bro. Shotty funny.
physical, and he plays it with passion and really good pad level.
On Dak entering his 10th season, how have you seen him really just grow from the time that you've been here since 2022 on the field, off the field here entering?
He hasn't really changed, man. I commend the guy for the way he prepares every day. Here we are. It's Friday in our world. So we're putting in red zone, 2-minute things like that. And when I tell you, when we're up there talking and installing the plays, and here's what they've done and this and that, and just to see the guy, man, just compete in the classroom, man, writing everything down and asking great questions and taking responsibility for different things. Hey, I might do this here or there. I mean, that's something you learn as you get older. I'm sure Dak wouldn't, hey, Shotty, I got something to add here, boom. When he was a rookie, he probably wouldn't have done that. But now he's just so comfortable in what we're doing and in his place on this football team that you get excited when guys do that.
Ed Order, WFAA.
That guy's
you talked
input.
about creating a physical identity and your determination to emphasize running the football. But if you look at this team, it looks like it's best equipped talent-wise with the quarterback and the receivers to be more of a passing team. How do you reconcile that? And
How was that, Ed Ward?
Yeah, that's a good question. Ed, it's fair. Again, you have to play physical in everything you do. You know, like throwing the football, you have to be physical, whether it's the protection aspect, the backs picking up blitzes, chipping some of the edges, receivers playing physical to create separation, Dak standing in there taking shots when there's free runners and things like that. But look, you know, we want to be balanced. We want to run the football. You know, there's got to be marriage between your runs and your passes. That's part of it. And then, again, you got to be ready to adjust. And you can be very physical as a football team and not just do it running the football. You can do it other ways, and not my statement, but somebody told me during the interview process as we were putting our staff together, they said the way that you can tell a physical football team is by looking at the smaller skill guys. And if those guys play physical, then you're a physical-ass football team. And I love that. I say it all the time. And
Very
so
interesting.
when I watch
Very interesting. Kavontae Turpin ain't physical, so does that mean we cotton soft? I'm just playing, y'all. Damn, I'm just playing, bro.
CD play and work in practice and dig out safeties and stuff like that, I'm like, that's pretty cool. Or Kavontae Turpin. Or
I know Turpin. Tell us what Turpin. Shotty, tell us what Turpin doing is physical.
Kyrie Elam. Some of these guys, if those guys are physical, you probably have something pretty cool going on.
Last one, Todd. Back to Diggs and Guyton. If they are available to play, how mindful are you of what they haven't been able to do for a good portion of the summer? And is it easy to mix and match them? Like, you see different corners play.
I'm going to try to answer this for them. If they're playing, they should be able to do everything. Let's see.
In offensive line, it's, hey, it's your 5 guys and you roll with them. You work through all
Yeah,
that.
again, it's a little too early to speculate. I would say it's a little easier to mix and match your corners. You're right about that. You're not putting your left guard, right guard in, and then taking them out every couple series. That's not desired. But, again, we'll see how today works, and we'll see how the meeting goes this afternoon. We'll certainly have a plan. But it's much more flexible with receivers or DBs than it is with linemen. Good. Thanks, guys.
All right. That was a short one today, y'all. We actually they had mercy on our souls today. All right, that was Brian Schottenheimer ahead of the Philadelphia Eagles matchup. Remember, we have a game in 2 days. Ladies and gentlemen, at the time of me making this video, we are roughly about 50 hours away from Dallas Cowboys season kickoff. I'm extremely excited. Be sure to subscribe for more Dallas Cowboys coverage like only we can do it over here. I'll see you guys on the next one.
Calling me, texting me, paging me, asking me, am I still them boys? Y'all usually check on me. Listen. I'm still them boys. Hey! Woo! Hey! I'm still them boys.